Hi, this is Shelley Kraft. We're coming to you live on SNNLive. We're at the BioMaryland booth at the Bio International Conference in Chicago 2013. I have standing next to me Dr. Alan Faden of Kinetic Shield, a private company. Dr. Faden, welcome to SNNLive.
Thank you, Shelley, for having me.
It's good to have you. Okay, let's get right into it. Tell me about Kinetic Shield.
Well, Kinetic Shield was developed by a group, including myself, an expert in material science and an applied mathematician. And the goal was to really change the design of helmets for both sports use and military use to really do what current helmets don't do, and that is to protect the brain.
Well, I played football, and I know what you mean, because my helmet never fit me all 4 years. So what are you doing to correct that?
Well, there are really two problems that really affect the brain when it gets hammered in a sporting event. The first one is that energy gets transmitted from the hit when a fast object stops suddenly. The brain does not like kinetic energy that goes into the brain. The other one that almost no helmets even deal with in the beginning to deal with them is to alter the rotational component. So when the brain moves from side to side quickly, it's very damaging to the brain connections. So our design is to really address those two issues, to find a better way by using novel materials to reduce kinetic energy to the brain and to develop methods for reducing lateral movement of the brain, which is the great unsolved problem in current helmets.
That's mind-blowing, I have to tell you, because you're into polymers, you're into new materials. You actually, I'm guessing, but NASA has probably got stuff you're looking at.
Well, that's right. You know, it's interesting, when we first got into this area and proposed this, it was very science fiction. And we really got looked on askance. I mean, what are you doing? Where do you think you're at? We're using, for example, change of state materials. So we're using liquid plastics. So these are plastics that are solid under normal conditions, and when they're subjected to a change in force, as you would happen with a helmet hit, they change from solid to liquid, absorb the kinetic energy, the liquid gets dispersed, which further reduces the energy, and our goal is to create that in a layered form, which allow you to go from smaller hits to heavier hits, still protecting the brain from kinetic energy, and finding a way to reverse that process so you can be in a multi-hit sport like football or lacrosse.
Now, let me tell you what I think. I don't think that the design of helmets has really all changed that much over the course of time. But the athletes have gotten bigger,
right,
and they've gotten faster.
Yes.
So that really feeds what you're doing.
Exactly. And what's really interesting to me is with all the purported advances in helmets, remember that the helmet industry is a self-regulating industry. They do not have to provide evidence to support any claim. A recent study that came out of Cleveland Clinic, published in the Journal of Neurosurgery, a very good journal, compared 1911 helmets, 1910 circa helmets, to about 17 of the, or more than 10 anyway, of current helmet designs, and did not find a material difference in the ability to protect from 1910 to now, despite all the purported advances that have been seen.
Now, what's your background?
I am a neurologist by training, an academic neurologist. My research for 30 plus years has been in head and spinal cord injury research, and prior to that I was in physics.
So you get it.
Well, I hope I get it. The kinds of things we do, and the reason I've actually started the companies is for years I said to myself and to others, what's out there doesn't make sense. Why can't somebody develop a product, a helmet, that addresses the problem? And because I never found that, I've decided to do something about it.
So why Maryland?
Well, for a couple reasons. One, I am at the University of Maryland School of Medicine. I direct and organize research center that's closely associated with the famous Shock Trauma Center, also with the Department of Anesthesiology research programs. And so I'm there, and what I'd like to do is take these companies into the family, so to speak, Ideally, we'd like to house these in the biopark in Maryland.
And your website is?
Well, we are in the process of developing those websites. It will be done quite shortly, and we'll provide a follow-up on those on the websites.
Okay, so I will say Kinetic Shield. You can Google it and find out more about the company, Kinetic. I'm Shelley Kraft. This is SNNLive. This is Dr. Alan Faden of Kinetic Shield, a private company. We're at the BioMaryland booth at Bio International in Chicago, 2013. Keep up the good work. Keep your helmet on. Stay in the game.
Thank you very much, Shelley. I appreciate it.